Welcome to another episode of Minutes with Me. I'm Bon Tran Fitness, and this is Daniel Ashmeade.
Good evening. Good evening.
So, today we're going to talk about sales and pretty much marketing and all that stuff, but mainly sales. And basically, I'm going to start off, and then Daniel's going to close it off. And pretty much, one of the first important things as a personal trainer is to have a niche.
Yes.
Right? Yes, when you start off, obviously, definitely train everyone, see what you actually like, right? And then narrow down, and then narrow down, and then narrow down. And then finding your niche is so important because you don't want to be a generalist, right? You don't want to be someone who trains everybody, right? Because that's not good, because who's really going to go to you, right?
Right.
People want to go to the specialist, right?
Right.
And this is what I've learned.
And I think I want to, and I think I don't want to add on that. I find that you're able to connect to a certain type of clientele better than others, opposed to just a generalist. So like your values, your views on stuff, your character, your interests kind of link up better with a certain niche market, which makes the training session easier for both.
Exactly. And that goes right into the next topic that I'm going to talk about is relationships, right? Having that relationship with that person, right? Like, for example, I work with a lot of moms between the age of 35 to 45, right? They generally have two to three kids, right? They're just busy moms, go, and they have a hard time finding time for themselves, right? And that's where I specialize in and helping them do that, right? Whereas, for example,
let me ask you, how did you get into that? Why? Because I know when you started, you were pretty much general like me. What about the single moms attracted you to make that your niche market?
Not single moms, sorry, like busy moms.
Stay-at-home moms. I know why single moms. Just joking.
Why busy moms? Definitely, that's what. Yeah, like I've trained office workers. I've trained a whole variety, but I've just found that why I connected with that the most is because I've worked with them the most. I've had the most success with them the most, and also just like I know where they're coming from, and not because I'm a mom or anything, but because I know what my mom has done for me.
Right.
Just being in the position of receiving all the time, and how moms always put everyone before themselves, and they sacrifice their health, right? They make sure that you're happy, they make sure you're fed, right? And I can see that through my mom's lenses, and just all the lessons and things that she's taught me,
right?
Because for her, she's a busy mom, right? And she's definitely taught me a lot of things that no one really would. And then getting the experience of working with these moms, I understand that they have the hardest jobs in the world, and I know where to pinpoint and help them, and what they do with their kids and keeping up with them, and certain movements and exercises and certain things that they do, right? Like stress eating or eating off their kids' plates and stuff like that, right? All those things, right? And it's just connecting with them on that level, right? Yes, I'm not a mom, but I just understand where they're coming from and what their day is like.
True.
And I guess it's just like living in their shoes, right? And then visually seeing that on a day-to-day basis through my mom's actions and stuff like that, right? And what she's done for me. So that's why I'm in this market. But
good answer.
But yeah, what about you, Daniel? Like you're in the CEOs, big.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of funny because I think I kind of just fell into that genre. Like I've been in the game 15 years plus, and I found that my biggest thing is I wanted people who were committed. I wanted people who worked hard. who would always show up. And when I'm providing a premium service, I want it to be everything and then some for them. So that being said, my prices reflect that. So I wanted to make sure that I was with a demographic that cost wasn't such an extra stressor or a problem for them, because it doesn't make any sense if if you're struggling to try to afford personal training, or if that was makes a hinder on yourself to make you any better. So
Mm-hmm.
I think right now, the thing I love is they book me in like any other appointment or any other meeting. Like I'll
Yeah.
be showing up at their house and they'll be on a phone with someone and they say, oh, my 3 o'clock meeting just came in, or I have a meeting right now in 5 minutes. Can I call you back in an hour? So I'm booked in just like everybody else. Plus, they always do their homework. They do what they're supposed to do. And just like you, they've worked so hard their whole lives building up their businesses. And also, too, I train a lot of stay-home moms and a lot of retired moms also. So, you know, their whole life taking care of everybody else. Now it's time for them to take care of themselves. And I really appreciate the discipline they've done. I, once again, also came from a single parent mother home. So I know how hard moms work. And I grew up around women. So I really reflect and resonate with women. I'm very comfortable around women. And then with the guys too, sometimes I find the younger guys, you know, our egos come into play and we think we know everything and we don't want to listen. We know we have all the answers. So then I'm just curious, why do you even want a personal trainer? Or, you know, they want to have a package and they start and then all of a sudden, you know, their head's somewhere else, so they can't afford it or something comes up. So I really don't want to have any of those things in the way, because I'm all about long term.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is I want long-term clients, because I know it takes a long time really to get to your goals and to actually establish that lifestyle. And that's what I promote. So having these, you know, CEOs, entrepreneurs, retired people, um, it's time to just now establish another part of their life that they can live on and be healthy.
Yeah, because wealth is the new health. I mean,
Yeah,
health is the
definitely.
new wealth. Sorry, I got that
Right,
backwards.
right.
But yeah, and then that leads us to, like we just talked about, pretty much relationships and having that's our relationship with them, right? That's how you. It's just about connecting with your clients and seeing life in their lenses, right? Instead of, oh, it's not just the basic train, train how you feel like they need training, or
Right, right, exactly.
and then lastly, it goes into marketing, right? And marketing is something that is always difficult, right? Especially if you don't have a niche, because if you're just a generalist, you're just everywhere, right? And yeah, and it's not worth it, right? Not It's a waste of time, right? So it's better to narrow down niche, then relationship with them, relatability, then to the market, right?
Yeah.
And with marketing, it's just about speaking to your market, right? What do they do, right? What do they do on a Monday night, a Tuesday night, and just understanding what they do on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, but more importantly, the weekly basis, how their day is, right? What they think, right? When they run into problems, right? What does your market feel, right? I know for like my busy moms, right, they whenever they're trying to achieve their fitness goals, it just really comes down to they have a fitness goal, but it's not just about the weight loss. It's you know time, mom guilt, right? They feel that. They feel mom guilt to the kids, mom guilt to themselves, right? Do I leave the house and, take an hour to go get a massage, or take an hour to go train, or uh, when photos come up and they're at social gatherings, how do they feel? How do they really feel, in those moments, in those events, right? So it's
Mhm.
just about understanding your market altogether. And then that way, when you do lead up to talking to them and, going for the sale or going for the consultation, your market, what you're talking about, who you are talking to, right? And that's going to resonate with them. It's like, oh, wow, this person's just every word, it just connects with me. And that leads to sales, right? And to me, sales is just about relationships. It's just about having good relationships and communication skills and just being a genuine good person. And but yeah, that leads to Daniel, who's going to talk about sales and how to sell.
And so I'll just tailor on with the market too, especially knowing your niche is to figure out how to do the marketing, especially within the last 15 years, the way technology has taken over, right? You can't get away from it. So perfect example is millennials, baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, like that is massive right now. Knowing Bond's niche, when he does his marketing, he's going to be on the Instagrams, he's going to be on the Facebooks, he's going to be pumping out stuff, maybe on emails, and those kind of things, in word of mouth. So knowing your market, you're going to know how to do your marketing, right? For me, I would probably do more Facebook and LinkedIn. I wouldn't look at Instagram. Nobody on my client base is going to be on Instagram. Nobody on my client base is going to be on Snapchat. They're probably going to be more text message, emails, maybe Facebook for the ladies, and for the gentlemen, it'll only be LinkedIn. Like most guys aren't on Facebook. So I have to understand that my market, social media really doesn't help me at all. So I actually don't do any marketing. We actually just post every now and then on Kijiji just to see what kind of happens, where it started. All of my marketing has been through word of mouth, because when I provide a good service, that's when they tell people, and that's the most valuable and the most reliable source of marketing. If you look on Kijiji or any of these sites, you'll see hundreds and hundreds of people saying they're the top trainer. They can get any picture before and after, Photoshop it, pictures of them being all jacked. That doesn't appeal to my people, right? And that doesn't work for me because I don't do any of those things. But for me, if someone says, work with Dan, this is what I've been through, this is what's happened working with him, it's almost a guaranteed sale, right? So that's going to be a perfect segue into sales. So just like Bond said, honestly, people, sales is relationships. I never thought I started at a big box gym doing sales, and I didn't even know it was called sales. Basically, guys and girls would come in and say this is what they needed, and I would just provide that service. That's all it's ever been for me, right? And it's finding out some people can afford it and some people can't. It doesn't mean that they don't want it. If it was free and you got a salary, everybody would do personal training. But unfortunately, that's just not the case. So for myself, what I think the best thing to do is, yes, find your niche market. Also, find the price point that you want to work with. We have the benefit that we can actually alter our pricing. There should be pricing that you have that's your general pricing. But there are going to be some circumstances, or at least for me, where I know some people can't afford it. I know times are hard. I know there'll be special situations. So always have a little other numbers in your head that you're okay with in case it comes to that part. Because working with professionals, what do they love to do? They love to sell and they love to negotiate as well. So you have to come in there with that mindset. Before the sale even starts, it's the pre-close. So what's the pre-close? Pre-close is making sure that the person who calls or emails you or inquires for your services already checks off most, if not all, of your checkpoints, right? Can you train them? Do they work? Do they live in the area that you can actually go to and train them? Yes or no? Do they want in-home or training outside or at your place? Does the service work for what they want? Yes or no? Can you provide that service for them? Are you too busy? Yes or no? How many days a week do they want to train? Does that work in your budget? Does that work in your calendar? Does that work for them? Yes or no? And the price. I always find out before we even sit down, these are our prices generally, so they understand what the pricing is. And I'll give you a little tip. I do tend to inflate the number a little bit, only because if someone's serious about it, they're not finding me for a price, they're finding me for value. Because people who are serious buy things for value, not for price. Because if you bought something for $1 and you never used it, you paid too much for it, right? So if they see you and they just want a $20 trainer. They don't want a personal trainer. They just want to spend, they want some kind of miracle cure that costs $20. That's what they're looking for. And that's just not me. So I've done in the past where if it's outside inquiries, so not referrals, because referrals know generally what my prices are, but someone from an email or from my website, they'll ask, I'll inflate the prices a little bit, and they're a little bit inflated on my website just because I want people who are serious inquiries. Because then when we get a chance to sit down and talk to each other, for me, it's not about trying to get as much from them. I know what my pricings are. I also know what my value is, but I want to make sure that they're serious because I'm serious. So once they check off all those boxes, great. Our times work. I can train you. I can work to those days. I can travel to you. That's no problem. And the price works with you. Then we sit down and talk. And when it comes to that, ladies and gents, sales is 99% listening and 1% talking. All you should be doing is asking questions. You're literally letting them close their own sale without you having to do anything. If you ask the right questions, right? You're asking about their lifestyle. You're asking about what they used to do in the past. You're asking about their nutrition. You're asking about why do they even want to come work with you? You're asking about what are the results they're looking for. You're asking all these yeses, all these things that you are going to provide for them. So there's honestly no reason why they're going to say no to you because they've already said they can, it works in their budget. They already said you guys agreed on a time and days that can train. And now you're finding out all the things that they want to be fixed that you can fix for them. I also love to ask in between if there's any questions that they have, because that's giving them an opportunity to bring up objections before you spit out that number for them to pay, right? If they say, oh, can I pay biweekly? Or, oh, do I have to pay it all up front? Or, is there tax included? Or whatever questions that they might have. It could not even be money related, right? What about if I cancel? Do you work on weekends? So they're just giving them opportunities to really ask questions of you. And all you're doing is asking more and more questions and relating to them and smiling and agreeing with them because you're connecting with them. You're really finding out what do they want. That's your job. Your job is to solve their problem. And you can't solve their problem until you really know what that problem is. And most of the time, the problem that they first tell you isn't really what their problem is. That's the symptom of their problem. Okay? So after all those questions are asked, you got everything down. You guys agreed on the days. You guys agreed on the solo program, the nutrition. Get them to agree about stuff outside of the price. I tend to go out and eat 4 times a week. Okay, going forward with our new plan, are you committing to cut that down to twice a week or even once a week? Yes. Right? 2 reasons why that's amazing. Number 1, they're already pre-committing to the program. Number 2, you're also helping them save money because they're not spending money eating out, which also hinders their ability to work with your price range, right? Because it's not just about their health. It is about their wealth. Like if they're wasting their money on fast food and stuff and you can save them $1 or 2 cooking some meals and eating at home, that's a win-win. So, things like that. Are you committing to, not going out with your friends? Are you committing to, cutting down your carbs? Are you committing to reducing your sugars? Are you committing to going on your own for a walk 2-3 times a week? Already getting these other yeses, other things that they're going to commit to before the price. The money is the smallest part. All the money really is validating their commitment to you, right? But you want other commitments besides just money. You don't want someone that's just going to pay you money and not do their homework and not work out on their own and not follow a nutrition plan and not getting new results, right? We're not in the finance business. We're not working at a bank and it's about money. We're personal trainers. Yes, we come with a price, but that's not why we're here, right? So once you get all that done, there's no way that they're really going to say no. There shouldn't be a reason that they're going to say no. It's really, like I always tell Bon, it's up to you to lose. They can afford you. You guys can work at the same times. The days work. They're going to commit to all the stuff they need to do to get to their goal. All that's left is, okay, for my services, this is what the price is going to be at the end of the month, right? It's going to be XYZ. And give them options, right? Because when they have options, they have more control in terms of what they want. They have the autonomy and the authority. give them a 3-month, give them a 6-month, give them a year, right? Because in all honesty, it doesn't really matter to us. You buy 3 months all the time, which is most of my clients do, and they just keep renewing. Or you buy for a year. Potatoes, right? But you also get a sense of where their mind is at. Someone who's saying, I want 6 months or a year, to me, they're a little bit more serious about it. They're a little more committed, right? They've thought about it for a period of time. The ones that say, let me try it for a month. I never do that.
No.
I say it's a 3-month minimum. You're going to go for 4 weeks. You're going to get sore 8 times. You're not going to get any results. What's the point of that, right? I need at least 3 months. You try for 3 months. You like it. We continue. And what always happens? They continue.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what it really. That's I would say the top 3. The pre-close. Make sure they're a valuable client for you, and you're a good trainer for them. When the consultation happens, listen and ask questions. That's all you should be doing. Do not tell them how amazing trainer you are. Do not tell them about their program. Do not tell them about their nutrition plan you're going to do with them. Do not tell them about anything. You ask questions. And then you ask them if they have any more questions of you, because you know everything that you're going to do with them. Then at the end of the day, at the end of it all, you say, look, for me, I say, okay, we're going to be twice a week. I'll get a meal plan for you. I get this set up for you. We're going to get you on your stuff on your own. I really don't know what I'm going to do with you because we haven't even started. I just know you're going to get results. We're going to start here and we're going to end up here, right? And it's XYZ amount. Mm-hmm. And that's the third thing I did. After I said the number, I don't talk. The first one who speaks after you say the number loses, right? So after you say your spiel and you say their plan and you tell them the price, you be quiet. You assume that they can do it because they can. They already told you before you even sat down with them, yes, I can afford you. Okay, this is the price. And then you're quiet. And you let them think. And you let them marinate. Most of them say, cool, where do I sign? Some have to think about it. Some have to talk to a certain spouse or a loved one or, the shot caller. Usually I would like to have the shot caller there, the person who's actually spending the money and making the financial decision.
Yeah, sometimes if you're working with like a kid and then
kid, exactly. Or, they have to ask the wife or the wife has to ask the husband. It's fair. It's a marriage because, they don't know what the price is, right? But I never give them more than 24 hours, right? To be honest with you, if you're not ready right then and there to purchase and to start, you're just not ready, which is okay.
Yeah. You're just curious. Okay. You're just curious.
Yeah. You're just curious. You're not sure yet. But because some people will say yes just to get it in the door, which has happened, right? But most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, if the price doesn't work for them from that pre-close, they'll ask, do you do discounts? That's a little out of my price range. And then I never say anything. Actually, I just say, okay, let's sit down and talk.
Yeah. Or exactly.
And I never say yes. I never say we can do discounts. Do not put yourself in that position. Just say, let's sit down and talk. Right? Yeah. Because you can always devise a plan that can work within their budget. Or you say, what kind of budget do you want to work with? They give you a number. And then you can figure out from there what you can do with that budget.
Yeah. If you can work with it. But think of the pre-close as a pre-qualifier, right? Because exactly. you don't want to work with just anyone. You want to work with amazing, thoughtful, meaningful clients and
committed, serious clients. And that's the thing I love. My clients pour into me so much as I pour into them. I don't have one client right now that I don't ask questions about, that I don't take home something from them. And I have some clients that are 15 years old, up to 70 plus, and all in between. And I go in there as a student too, right? Because they're an expert in their field, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. So just like you said, though, I'm not there just to be with just anyone. So those pre-qualifiers make sure that we are a match. And the consultation is really just getting that information that I need to make their program a success. That's all that it is. And to sign some paperwork.
Yeah.
right? So
But
if you're already going in there with that mindset that it's already closed, because it technically is, it's really up to you to mess it up, right? And get them hot, get them right away within that first 3 to 4 days of that inquiry. Don't wait 2 weeks to speak to them. Don't even wait a week if you can, because emotion and fear is going to stop them. They've probably been waiting for 6 months, a year to do this, 5 years, 10 years to finally do this. And then you're going to make them wait another week. They're just giving them an opportunity to talk themselves out of it like they've been doing it for the past 10 years.
mm-hmm.
So when they're ready to go, you book it. I want to see you tomorrow. Can I see you tonight? Right? Because they're ready and you want that excitement, because they're also very scared because they've tried multiple times and unfortunately they probably have not been successful, hence why they want to work with you. So don't
Mm-hmm.
give them that opportunity to talk themselves out of it. Get them when they're excited, get them ready because you know you are the solution for them.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And then the last thing I just want to add is definitely know your stuff and know that you can get them results.
Be confident.
Yeah.
Be confident. Do not say, is 3,000 okay? No, the price will be $1,564 biweekly. Boom. Right? $1,564. We'll send the invoice. Right? It's going to be a monthly payment of $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
Does that work? And then you're quiet. They're going to say yes or they're going to say no. Why would they say no? Because you did something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Right? They're going to say yes because they knew what the price was beforehand. Right? You already established how many days a week, so they already kind of know what that price is. Right? And let them know, yes, HST is included because I got to pay taxes too. Right? So be confident. Be confident in when you're asking for the amount of money. You're not robbing them. You know you're worth that and then some. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And the more confident that you say it, they will see that. It shouldn't be intimidating. And I know it sounds so much easier than it is, but when you have lots and lots of practice of doing it and hearing the no's, it shouldn't be intimidating. And you shouldn't take it personally if they say no. They're not saying no to you, right? You don't know if they have a mortgage they got to pay for, or 3 kids that have hockey, or, they just lost their job. Like, you don't know what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, if they could afford you, they would. So when you go in there with your price, be confident and be strong with it because you know you're worth that.
Exactly. And move on if they say no, right? There's more people to help other people, right? And it's not just one person, right? You're gonna get many no's. Right?
And when you do hear the no, set them up, give them some resources, do not throw them away, and follow with them. Follow up with them. 1 month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, follow with them. Show that you care, right? They're going to be like, wow, this guy, my wife, Tiffany, has gone how many clients of just, wow, why did you sign up with us? Because you wouldn't leave me alone. You kept following up with me every 3 months. And then I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go now. Amazing, right? He wasn't annoyed. He was happy that we actually cared enough to follow up with this guy to see how his success is going. I'm going to try it on my own. Great. Here's some resources. Give it a shot. Let me see you in 3 months to see how you're doing. Wow, you're still successful? Amazing. Next thing you know, they're giving you a referral for somebody else. You never know what opportunities can happen if you just always lead with your heart and with caring, right? It's not just about you said no, okay, see you later, right? How would you like that if they treated you that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So follow up, people, follow up.
That's perfect. All right, guys, that was amazing. Good job, Dan. That was even I learned stuff, right? And yeah, like me and Daniel have gone through this stuff too, right? Like, guys, I've struggled with it, and it's just about practicing, right? And
right.
And role playing and going through the steps, right? Because it works, right? It's proven, right? And
Totally frozen.
yeah, and if you really want to dive deeper into this, it's just about reading books on sales, right? And it's just upping your skills in that aspect. But the most important thing is practicing application of knowledge.
Yeah, and I agree with you with that, Bon. Practice, talk to your parents, friends, family, practice consultations, practice asking for the money, practice, practice, practice. So when you're doing it, you get more comfortable as you go. Like you said, Bonnie, yes, I read a lot of books and yeah, they say good stuff and everything like that, but until you're in it, you really don't know. So until you've said the words and heard the no's and fumbled and made the mistakes and corrected the mistakes, you don't know how good you can become. So practice first before you see that first person, right? 3-4 times a day. Harass your spouse, harass your loved one, harass your sibling, right? And tell them, you'll give them you'll give them a cut from your first sale, right? But get that practice in because you want to be crisp. You want to be confident, right? It's got to flow. It's got to be natural. They will smell the blood in the water. They will smell the fear off you. So the more confident and the more practice you have beforehand, the more they'll love you and the more they'll realize how much you're really serious and how much you really want to help them change their lives.
Yeah, that's true. Anyways, guys, we will see you next week, next Sunday on the next episode, and we have a new topic for you next week.
Yes, we do.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.